about dominant genes and recessive genes. And so now we're going to get into some kind of weird vocabulary. So we have gene pairs. You can either be homozygous dominant, 2 dominant genes, like we saw with my old blue genes. Homozygous recessive, 2 recessive genes. Homo means same. Or heterozygous means different. That means your gene pair would be 1 dominant and 1 recessive. And remember, recessive can be hidden, but it's not weak at all. And also, it does not mean that there are less recessive traits. Actually, I'm so bummed we can't do this lab where we do a trait survey of every biology student. Chances are, many times, there are more people with recessive traits than dominant traits. And we only look at 6 human traits, but still, and you're going to get a chance to look at those. And I'll probably have you survey your family to kind of see who has what, so it'll be kind of fun. So, 2 new terms we're going to talk about today is genotype. And I want you to know with this, the word gene is right in it. We're just representing the individual's gene. What is its genotype? What does its DNA look like? What are the genes of this individual? This is their genetic makeup. It means what their genes are. So an example of a genotype would be, are they big R, little r, heterozygous? Are they big R, homozygous dominant? Or are they little r, homozygous recessive? Where in this case, R means that the individual has a really round face versus little r is oval. If you have a very long oval face, you're homozygous recessive for face shape. If you have a super round face, you're homozygous dominant. So, and there are a few other face shapes that play in. It's another one that it's not just one gene pair, but for the sake of this example, it is. So, it's just their genes. And remember, we represent genes by using letters. So they have a dominant and a recessive. So they could pass either shape on to their offspring. So the opposite of genotype is the more fun part of genetics is phenotype. So pheno means it's physical traits. What do you actually look like? So the example of this, the phenotype we were just talking about is the shape of your face. Phenotype, curly hair. Curly hair is dominant to straight hair. So I have at least 1 big R. I'm probably big R, little r, because my mom has really straight hair and my dad has curlier hair. So, right, phenotype, right, your physical characteristics. What does it actually look like? This could be blood type, and your genotype could be you have A blood where you would have A genes, B blood where you would have B genes, O blood where you would have O genes, or AB blood has A and B genes, and we'll do blood type in a week or 2. So, this is the genes, the actual DNA. This is what it looks like. So these are your physical traits. Are you tall? Are you medium? Are you short? Right? Do you have long legs or short legs? Do you have a smooth chin or a cleft chin is one that we'll look at. So the dimple in your chin. Do you have dimples? I don't. But that's a phenotype, a physical trait. So these are old Latin terms for the type of genes an individual has and the type of physical traits that an individual has. And next, we'll actually have some fun looking at karyotypes of genetic disorders, because that normally is kind of an interest, and that's just a map of all of blue genes on the clothesline. Can't leave my humor out, guys. So it's just a map of genes. I showed you one earlier, so it's a map of our gene pairs. And then Punnett squares, we won't use a lot. They're actually, I leave this in here for a reason. The reason I leave it in there is this is the most inaccurate way to predict genetics, because the more we study genetics, the more we understand that our phenotypes are not controlled by just one set of genes, like I talked about with eye color. We keep discovering that a lot of our genes are linked. There was this great study done in Ireland of red-headed people having green eyes and freckles. So it appears that red hair, green eyes, and freckles are linked. It doesn't mean that it has to happen, but there is a high probability of you having all three together. And you might end up with like a little green-blue eye if you have red hair, but it doesn't mean you can't get brown eyes if you have red hair. But it seems to be linked in Irish. So if you have red hair but you're not Irish, then it's totally different. But it was a really cool study done. So there are genes that are linked and they travel together and they're passed on together. So we can't easily do Punnett squares anymore to prove this kind of stuff. So, and we can talk about that more. So make sure that you do this quick review. I want you to do it and have it. If you come to the Google Hangout, try really hard to do it. And if you can't, I have a small dry erase board at home, and so I will do them and show them to you to kind of help you through it. Just take your time and work through these. And I'll probably put up a couple other videos later in the week to help you process this, but make sure you come to the Google Hangout. We'll see you guys.